But in the meantime, as we have been saying, these conventions this year are like no other in history. Now, Amna Nawaz is back with this look at this unique moment and how we ended up here.
I humbly and gratefully accept your nomination.
4 years ago in Cleveland, then candidate Donald Trump accepted the Republican nomination for president in front of a roaring crowd of thousands.
And we will make America great again.
But this year, President Trump will accept a second-term nomination from the quieter and emptier White House South Lawn. It's been a summer of back and forth for the president and Republican officials planning this year's Republican National Convention.
I don't envy them, but I do believe this would have been a great learning experience to go through.
Phil Alonji was an executive producer for the Republican conventions of 2012 and 2016. Alonji knows intimately the challenge of engineering a massive event like this under normal circumstances. This year, the degree of difficulty is higher.
Looking at what we're going through with the pandemic and seeing how people have had to adjust all of how we do production, it must be an undaunting task for the folks at the RNC to pull off a convention.
As it did for Democrats in their convention last week, the pandemic forced Republicans to dramatically scale back plans. Today in Charlotte, North Carolina, the host city that would have been the center of the spectacle, near empty streets and event signs left behind.
It's been a lot of work in the last few weeks, putting together and planning a lot of great content.
GOP national spokesperson Liz Harrington tells NewsHour that despite the challenges, organizers remain optimistic.
We want people to be engaged. We want more live coverage. We want to bring people together to experience some of these live speeches in a safe way. And the message really is that we love our country, we're fighting to defend our freedoms, and we have a big choice election coming up.
The road leading up to this week's RNC has been rocky. Tensions about the pandemic's impact on convention plans started rising back in May, when President Trump criticized North Carolina Governor Roy Cooper for his strict coronavirus guidelines, threatening to move the convention if they weren't allowed to host a full in-person event. As the president and others pushed to convene a several thousand-person event, North Carolina officials pushed back. In a letter to the RNC, Governor Cooper argued that, quote, planning for a scaled-down convention with fewer people, social distancing, and face coverings is a necessity. In June, Trump and the RNC announced they'd be moving key convention events to Jacksonville, Florida. But as Florida's COVID-19 cases continued to rise and the state started seeing record spikes, plans for Jacksonville were scrapped the next month.
President Trump, looking at the situation on the ground, made the best decision for the citizens of Jacksonville, for our delegates, for members of the media who would have been traveling there, and all of our great supporters as well.
This week in North Carolina, the Charlotte Convention Center will host some party business, like the delegates' nominating ceremony.
The great state of Connecticut is casting all 28 delegates.
Normally, thousands of delegates would participate.
Pursuant to the announcement of
But this year, only 336 attended this morning's roll call, 6 delegates from each state and territory.
I proudly cast 28 spicy votes for President Donald J. Trump.
Other key convention moments will take place remotely, under the theme Honoring the Great American Story, and speakers will include a mix of party leaders and everyday Americans. The president, who relishes the raucous live rally experience, will address supporters from a distance, asking them to turn out for him once again. For the PBS NewsHour, I'm Amna Nawaz.